What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to our channel here at Vagabond Builds with James and Sandu, and today we're bringing you another comparison video between two cars. To my right, I have the 2024 BMW iX. Now these are the all-electric EVs and the xDrive50, and we're comparing that over to the bigger horse in the barn, to the BMW iX 2024 M60. We're going to be talking about similarities and differences from exteriors, interiors, and specs on both these cars. But before we do, because it's not a sponsor video, we truly need and appreciate your guys' support because you guys are the ones that put food on our table. So we ask that you tap like and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you have something for us to film, here's our email. Email us and we could talk details later. A special shout out and a thanks to Roseville BMW here at the Roseville Auto Mall in Roseville, California, for providing us both of these beautiful BMW iXs for this comparison video. Keep watching, stay tuned, because we're also going to be dropping those MSRP stickers so you guys get an exact idea of what comes on these cars and the price tags on top, because there's just so much to mention. If the video is too long, you won't be watching it. So guys, now let's go ahead and talk 2024 BMW iX. So let's kick this comparison video off with talking differences in the specs. Now, we don't pop the hoods because we're not BMW certified specialists on the BMW iXs. I know normally we typically pop the hoods and show you guys the engine bays, but these don't have engines, of course, because they're all EV. But again, let's talk some specs, okay? So on the xDrive50, now, although they come with the same exact battery pack, and that's 111.4 kilowatt, 369 volt lithium ion battery pack with the same exact dual motors, this one comes in at 516 horsepower with 564 pounds-feet of torque. One-speed automatic transmission, all-wheel drive standard. But if you come over to the M60, what do we see that's different? Same dual motors, same battery pack and everything, but they amp it up to about 610 horsepower with 749 pounds-feet of torque. Now, what might change, you ask? The xDrive50 does 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds, and the M60 does 0 to 60 in about 3.6 seconds. Also, the MPGe changes, not by a lot if you ask me, but let me give you guys some numbers. MPGe on the M60 itself that you're looking at right now in the video is a 78 city, 82 highway, and an 80 combined, with 296 miles to a full charge, 42 kilowatt usage to every 100 miles. Now, if we come over to the xDrive50, those numbers kind of pick up just a bit because remember, the more power you're putting out, the less MPGe. This MPGe gives you 83 city, 82 highway, and 83 combined with the 307 miles to a full charge. So that makes it what, 11 miles extra to a full charge. 41 kilowatt per every 100 miles. Now, charge time on both is 11 hours at 240 volts. Fast charging from 10% to about 80% in about 35 minutes at a 190 kilowatt plug-in. Dimensions on both, starting with length in inches, 195 inches in length with 67 inches in height with 118 inch wheelbase. So let's go ahead and talk some different numbers. If right off the bat you guys want to know price, this is coming in at around $97,000. This is coming in on the MSRPs around $112,000. Now, for an extra $15,000, I'm going to be mentioning to you guys in this video what you get on the M60 that you don't get on the xDrive50. Now, starting with the xDrive50, front ends are similar with the panoramic 360, the shadow line trim that BMW calls that kind of piano black or high gloss black trim. You get the parking sensors on the lower side of that front end, the active shutters down there, and of course those big BMW kidneys. But what is different, you might ask, on the front end? Let's go ahead and talk headlight system. This is a BMW LED headlight system. The only difference is that you would be getting on the front end is with the headlights. You'll get a blue M trim coming through, or that kind of blue EV look trim, and the laser light that you get right there in the corner. Now I want to show you guys those two differences here on the M60. That blue trim going across, and also that BMW laser light there in the corner. That is what you get different. That's one thing or two things that you add for the $15,000. Coming over to the side, okay? Now let's go ahead and talk rims and tires with suspension. Of course, the rims are going to be different. Same colors, yes, in the high gloss black with the machine surface silver, but the design are different. And the tires. Here you have a Pirelli P0, and that is a 275/40/22 on the xDrive 50. Coming over to the M60, you have a Michelin Primacy Tour all season, and that size is a 255/50/21. Now you can opt in on the M60 for the 22 inches. Another difference here on the M60 that you get for that extra $15,000 is the upgraded M braking system, along with that air ride suspension on the dual axle air ride. Here on the xDrive 50, you do not get the air ride, you don't get the M brake, even though that the calibers are painted blue, but again, it's not the M braking system. Now those are pretty much the differences. Keep an eye out between also different packages. You will see different designs on the rims. Moving forward, similarities. Side mirrors are similarities. We left this one closed, kind of showing you guys how it folds. 360 panoramic camera with the integrated blinker lighting on both. They do come blind spot assist as well. The door is exactly the same with the keyless fob entry, and these are the way, or this is the way that you're going to be opening the door. It's a self-pop door, and the electric button is under there as well, okay? Now, moving over to the rear end. One thing I wanted to mention that you don't see on a lot of cars, or the higher end cars, let's say, you have the four-wheel or the dual axle turning, and when you're turning on the M60, the back tires actually change, increasing the turning radius or making the turning radius a bit more acute. No dual axle turning. Here in the rear end, absolutely nothing different. Now, you might think that the colors were actually sitting here, James and Sandu, and we're sitting there and like, oh my gosh, is the color different on the taillights? Because no, it's not. Why do we ask ourselves that? Is because the color of the car actually pops that taillight in a different in a different accent, I would say. M60, of course, the emblems are different from the M60 to the xDrive 50, okay? But up top, spoiler with the integrated brake light, wiper for the back window, panoramic camera integrated into the emblem. You got your parking sensors going across that lower rear end area. And again, no exhaust because it is all EV, and you do not get spare tires on neither one of them, okay? Now let's go ahead and pop the cargo. We're only going to pop the cargo on the xDrive 50. Why? Because it's exactly the same, right? You have your emergency trunk latch open, a electric control unit there to pop that second row seat down. I'm going to show you guys that. And you get that in both, okay? So the M60 and the xDrive 50, and a 12-volt outlet there in the rear. Popping open this mat, you have your fast charging cable and slow charging cable on board with your tire situation going on. So those are pretty much similarities from exterior to specs and cargo. Let's go ahead and talk differences and similarities on the interior. So now let's talk differences first from the 2024 iX xDrive. So we're sitting in the xDrive, and the interior is one of three options, okay? Now on the xDrive 50 in this video, we have the stone gray suede interior with that partial canvas look, the stitching design. The seat themselves are the same shape, but again, what is covering the seat or the cloth inserts is suede on these, okay, on the xDrive 50 in this video. Also the dashboard, okay, so you have that full wrapped dash. Now this is super cool because a lot of exotics come in the suede wrapped dash. This kind of just gives you that exotic feel, okay? Now, what are some other differences that we see from the xDrive 50 to the M60? Let's come over to the door panel. Now the door panel itself is going to have some add-ons in the M60 to where the xDrive doesn't have it. Now, memory seating, and you're going to be seeing that memory seating button here. All right, the Harman Kardon sound system. This is an 18-speaker Harman Kardon sound system in the xDrive 50, to where the M60 has the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. And then also the heated armrests. Okay, now you can't see that in the video itself, but when the M60 turns on or you want to heat up the car or the cabin, you heat up the armrests here on the door panels, also on the driver's side armrest as well. So super cool feature, okay? Now, another cool thing that's different up top here, next to this electrochromic shading touch sensitive button for that panoramic glass, you're going to have a cabin camera there on the M60. Here on the xDrive50, you don't have that, all right? Now, this is a super cool glass, and why do I say that? Because a lot of cars don't come with that electrochromo or chromic, if I'm pronouncing it right, shading system. Now, you can touch this button and it'll actually change the shade of that glass. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but super cool feature. Now, another difference is, see this touch sensitive button here? This here is just to show you the drivetrain and chassis system. You would have an extra button right under that button on the M60, and I'm going to show you guys that later on in this video. But overall, similarities with regards to the design of the car. Now, I want to mention that this xDrive50 in this video does come with a convenience package. And what does that mean? That it gets the 360 panoramic camera, gets the heads-up display. You also get the Harman Kardon sound system. That is convenience package exclusive, all right? You also have on this xDrive50 in this video is what they add on new to 2024 for BMW iX in general is that driving assistant package. And that is where you can park your iX per key fob, so you can actually use the key fob to park, I believe. That is something that is new to 2024, and you can actually drop up to 10 locations into the memory of the car, so the car itself does remember your 10 locations of helping to park and all that stuff. But super cool tech, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in the xDrive50. Space is completely there. You can do long road trips, 300 miles to a charge. You got that space for that, and you can sit in it the whole time. Just phenomenal feel, okay? Now, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys the second row seating before we get over to that M60. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, so pretty much what is different? Yes, the seating system in here on the second row. Remember, I told you guys this is the suede compared to the leather. And then also the Harman Kardon sound system back here as well. 18-speaker Harman Kardon system to where that is the Bowers & Wilkins in the M60. But similarities, pretty much car seat compatibility, armrest, the same exact, with the heated seats here in the back as well. Okay, you got the pockets on the back of the two front seats, USB-C plugins with your accessory compartment there as well. Now, something I wanted to mention, I did a single review on this xDrive50, and I forgot to mention that these are electric controlled door buttons, but you also have the manual levers. If you do get caught up and your battery's dead, you literally open the doors manually from the bottom of that door. They're kind of tucked away. That's why I forgot about them. Another thing I want to mention is a space test. I'm about 6 feet 2 inches, and look how comfortable I'm sitting in this car. Legroom is completely there, and head clearance is completely there. And I'm a pretty tall person as it is, but just phenomenal on the feel of this car. Just great, okay? Now that we're done with the xDrive50, let's go ahead and jump into the M60, show you guys the main differences, and you'll guys see the similarities as we're at it. Let's go ahead and do that, guys. Now sitting in the M60, everybody, and kind of get a load of the higher luxury feel in the M60. Just the look on this, I'm more a fan of this leather wrapped insert on the seating and how it kind of looks, just giving you kind of more of a higher class feel. But from the seats to the infotainment screen, I didn't mention in the xDrive50, but that's a 14.9-inch infotainment screen with a 12.3-inch driver cockpit cluster display screen, and just phenomenal look coming with that kind of M gold or matte bronze look on the trim. Just phenomenal look all around. But let's go ahead and show you guys the main differences in what I showed you guys in the xDrive50 that it doesn't have that the M60 has. Starting with the door panel, you have the memory seating control unit. That's something you don't get in the xDrive50. The Bowers & Wilkins with that diamond cut cover. And then the heated armrests that you won't see in the video, but you'll feel them if you're me, and if the cab is hot, you have the heated armrest on the door panels and also here on the center console. In front of that armrest on the center console, remember that button I was telling you about, the air ride suspension button? That is under that button I was showing you guys in the xDrive50. That's an add-on touch sensitive button, which if you go ahead and press that button, you'll get a little note or a message telling you, of course, the door is open, but we can't increase the height of the car from normal to high ride, okay? And that'll let you know if you're a normal ride or maximum height. All right, up above the center console, the extra cabin camera that you get. All right, next to that electrochromic or touch sensitive button. Right now, also on the seats themselves, they do come heated in both, but what the M60 has is the ventilation seating that you get on the M60 that you don't get in the xDrive50. Okay, now I will like to mention some cool things that this does not have the convenience package. So the heads-up display is kind of a standard thing in the M60. The Harman Kardon system turns into the Bowers & Wilkins. This doesn't have the convenience package. So for an extra $15,000, you're literally getting kind of a standard upgrade. Now, honestly, I will have to say that for the $15K, you're getting a whole lot more car for your dollar. Now, some things that I want to show you guys that are similar to both xDrive50 and M60 is the ambient lighting on top of the door panels. All right. Also, you have the hand gesture to turn on your radio.
Legacy of music icon Bob Marley.
All right. No copyright infringement. We don't want that in our videos, but just showed you guys some pretty cool things there as well. Now you have the wireless charging pad, the USB-C plugins, the cup holders with the 12-volt outlet, and you can go through different modes. So if I go ahead and press this button there, you can go through different modes, and that'll show you a difference on your driver cockpit cluster. Let's go into sport, and it literally changes the color and the look. You could also change the interface look. You get the Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto in both as well. Now let's go ahead and shoot over to the second row seating, finish off with that, and then completely close this video. Now second row seating, wanted to show you guys what the second row bench looks like on the leather wrap seating. Also the Bowers & Wilkins, check this out, the ambient lighting that you get, and it's a little bit more darker here so you can see that ambient lighting strip that you get inside the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, just adding the phenomenal look to the inside of this BMW iX M60. But you get the heated seats, the armrest, the pop-out cup holders, the pockets on the back of your seats, the accessory compartments with the USB-C plugins. That's all pretty standard in these BMW iXs. Now you can drop these seats from those little switches down there as well. But if you want more of an in-depth review, everybody, check out our video at Vagabond Builds with James and Sandu for the more in-depth review, like specs, numbers, and interior and exterior and all that stuff. Check out our other videos in general with regards to all our cars that we're reviewing, and send them to your friends and family and whatnot if you're in the market for a car. Hopefully we're a big help to you guys. We appreciate your guys' time. Now, as promised, here's the MSRP sticker, first to the xDrive50, so you guys get an idea of what comes on it with the packages and everything, and you can compare that over to this sticker, to the M60, and you guys can kind of make your choice if you're in the market for an iX. Thank you guys so much for watching our channel here at Vagabond Builds with James and Sandu. Thank you, and God bless you.